Wayne answered, "Nora, your mother didn't just leave you that pharmaceutical company. She left you her love." Nora was rendered speechless. What is he talking about? He went on, "Although she left us early, she paved the way for you. She may not be around anymore, but her heart has always been with you." Wayne's speech continued. Apparently, he had a great deal to say about maternal love, and he was deeply, personally invested in honoring her mother's memory. But Nora had just finished eating a very large meal. After listening to him for a time, she couldn't help but yawn. Wayne realized that he had been talking for too long. "Forgive me, you're at an appropriate age now. When do you plan to take over the company?" Although he truly cared for the company and had been devoted to it for many years now, Wayne knew the business really belonged to Nora. He had to return it to her. But Nora replied with a detached air, "You're taking care of it pretty well. Can't you just continue with it?" A small company needed an owner who was heavily involved in the day-to-day workings of the business. Nora knew she didn't have enough time to do the job properly. With her condition, she needed to make sure she was getting enough rest. Wayne was confused but pleased. Nora asked, "Have the Greys shown any interest in buying the company? If what the Greys were interested in was the company's developmental potential, then there was no need to use Anthony's marital bliss as a bargaining chip. They could just offer to buy the company at a high price. They had plenty of money." However, Wayne shook his head. "No, they haven't." Nora frowned. She couldn't figure out what they were thinking, but there was only so much time she could waste on trying to figure out their motives. "If you can think of anything else that my mom instructed you to give me, please call me." "Sure," he replied. Then he said, "Can I get your bank account number? I'll transfer all the company dividends directly to you from now on." Nora had been a child when Wayne had first been entrusted with the company. Then, when she had come of age, she had been living abroad. That was why Wayne had continued to pay the dividends to her father Henry instead. It was just $5 million. It didn't mean much to Nora. But then again she figured, why should I let the Smiths have it? She gave him her bank account number and left. On the top floor, Howard Hunt sat on the sofa and watched Pete in the study, contemptuously. As of now, the only direct descendants of the Hunt family left were Justin's immediate family and Howard's immediate family. As a direct descendant of the head of the family and the eldest son, Justin had inherited his position as leader of the family. However, his second uncle refused to accept this. He was constantly causing trouble for Justin, trying to disrupt his power. The Hunts that lived in the family home didn't participate in the family's business disputes. They were only responsible for presiding over family issues. As for Howard, he was obsessed with martial arts. He despised his family's scheming ways and admired Justin from the bottom of his heart. However, he didn't like Pete. The mystery of his unknown mother bothered him. Howard thought the whole situation brought shame to Justin's otherwise glorious leadership. Pete was small and weak and far too quiet. Howard thought something must be wrong with him. How could he be worthy of becoming Justin's successor? Howard snorted and withdrew his gaze disdainfully. The door to the suite opened and Justin strode in. Justin's presence always made Howard sit up and take notice. He greeted him respectfully. "Welcome home, Justin." Justin made a sound of acknowledgement and asked, "What are you doing here?" Howard touched his hooked nose nervously and replied, "Grandpa heard that you were going to New York to have your grandma's condition treated, so he wants me to go with you and act as a witness. While we're there, I also thought I would see if old Mr. Quinn would be willing to take me in and teach me some traditional martial arts techniques." From the outside, it might seem like traditional martial arts were falling into decline as time went by. But Howard knew there were still mysterious masters of the arts out there to be found. It was just a matter of knowing where to look. The Quinn School and the Irwin School ranked top in traditional martial arts. It was Howard's dream to become an apprentice at one of the schools. He wanted to try Quinn first. Justin glanced at him. He knew the part about him wanting to join the school was true. He wasn't sure he believed the part about Howard being a witness to their grandmother's treatment, though. His deep-set eyes looked toward Pete. He had an idea. Take Pete with you to the Quinn School of Martial Arts. Mr. Quinn is strict when it comes to enrollment, though. You may not meet his requirements, but Pete might have a chance. He had already had Pete's body assessed when he was a toddler. He had a very suitable build for martial arts. However, Justin had been reluctant to put his son through a tough training routine at such a young age, so he hadn't taught him any martial arts yet. He was confused by Pete's behavior and what it all meant for his future. Pete asked to play with Barbies, and then acted confused when Justin brought dolls for him. His manners changed from quiet to confident and then back again. The family doctor had said Pete thought of himself as a girl, but as far as Justin could see, his son had no idea who or what he wanted to be, or how to say what he wanted clearly. Maybe it would be a good idea to send him to learn from Mr. Quinn. He could learn discipline and develop the confidence to speak up for himself. Howard curled his lip disdainfully. Him? But he shut up when he noticed the sharp look Justin gave him. He was scoffing internally, though. With that small and weak body of Pete's, why would Mr. Quinn ever pick him as a student? While this conversation was happening upstairs, Nora returned to her suite in the hotel. Her cell phone started to ring. She didn't rush to answer it. She only picked it up after she had changed into her slippers and found a comfortable seat on the sofa. She heard angry shouting on the other end. Have you been slacking off again? Have you been skipping practice? Nora winced and rubbed her ears. Her instructor's shouting was loud enough to sting. I have to sleep, Quinn. I don't have time. Send me Cherry, then. She's your daughter. I bet she's inherited your physique and skill. I'll take her as my apprentice and make her my top pupil. Or have you found your son yet? Our style is good for boys, too. Bring them both if you found them. Nora replied mischievously, Has the Quinn School of Martial Arts fallen so far that they rely on a 5-year-old to bring them glory? Quinn yelled. And whose fault is that? It's all because I was blind enough to take someone as lazy as you as my apprentice. This Irwin guy keeps showing off his students' accomplishments. My apprentices can't fall behind. Come to New York and we will have a showdown. Quinn and Irwin were longtime rivals in the world of martial arts. Nora rolled her eyes. I'm not available. Before Quinn could start shouting again, she added, But I am coming to New York. I'll bring Cherry over to visit you. When? What time? I'll send someone to pick you up. Nora chuckled softly at his eagerness. She held the elderly man's stammer awkwardly. It's Cherry I'm thinking about. I miss Cherry, not you. Nora chuckled again. After giving him their arrival date and time, she hung up. She picked up a glass of water from the coffee table, took a couple of sips, and went to take a shower. Outside of Nora's suite, Cherry was spying on her mother. She watched through the gap in the doorway as Nora drank the water and went to take a shower. She said into the voice chat, Chesty, Mummy's back. Pete said, Hide, Cherry, I gave Daddy the fake message. He went downstairs to look for Mummy. Cherry darted into the stairwell. Sure enough, she spotted her dad coming out of the elevator. When he reached their suite and saw that the door was open, he went straight in. As soon as he entered, Chester dashed over and locked the doors with a huge metal padlock. After that, he returned to the stairwell and asked, Did you make them drink what I gave you? Cherry replied, Yes, she drank it. I put it in her glass of water. Pete also replied, Daddy drank his too. Chester then said, Perfect. Cherry, your mission now is to prevent Mrs. Lewis from coming back. Cherry asked suspiciously, What did we just give Mummy and Daddy? Chester grinned. It's not something kids your age need to know about. It was a herbal. The usual over-the-counter version had never made a huge difference in Chester's experience, but he had made sure to splurge on a luxurious, upgraded version for this pair. Inside, Nora was just getting into the shower when she heard a sound. She wrapped her towel around her and walked out of the bathroom. She called out, Cherry, Mrs. Lewis, are you back? Just as she finished speaking, she saw Justin sitting on the sofa. Justin had immediately realized that something was wrong when he heard someone locking the door behind him. When he started feeling unwell just a few seconds later, he realized that he had... There were a lot of people in New York, who wanted to get close to him, and they had tried various methods over the years. It was hard for him to guard against all of them. During a moment of negligence 6 months ago, someone had successfully slipped something into his drink. But he was fit and strong and careful by nature. The dosage hadn't been strong enough to subdue him immediately, and he had been able to fight its effects long enough to get out of danger. He was confident that everything would be fine this time too. He was only dealing with Nora. There was no point struggling against the locked door. When he heard splashing water coming from the bathroom, he simply sat on the sofa, intending to see what exactly Nora planned to do. To be honest, he didn't quite understand her. She frequently made contact with Pete, and even allowed him to call her Mummy. It seemed logical to Justin that she intended to use his son to get near to him. Yet every time he confronted her, she adopted an indifferent attitude. Sometimes he wondered if he was the one misunderstanding her. But now, suddenly, she was colluding with his son. Pete had passed her message asking him to come down to the room, and now he realized he had been. The two of them were locked in here together. Just as he realized this, the bathroom door opened. He clenched his fists, trying to keep himself under control. Nora stood and absorbed the sight of him. Nora frowned and asked, "Why are you here?" She had only just spoken when he abruptly jumped up. He dove toward her so forcefully that they both fell against the wall behind her. As a doctor, she knew something else was going on. She tried to push Justin away, only to find he was very strong. Nora came at him again with a... Upon feeling the sharp momentum of her fist coming toward him, Justin turned and ducked. Even in the middle of the fight, he couldn't help but admire her. She's so fast. And after exchanging blows in an exhilarating whirl, they both backed away, putting some distance between them. Nora frowned, anger glowing in her eyes. "Keep that over your eyes, or I will make sure you never leave this room." Justin was astounded. No one had ever threatened him like that in his whole life, but the anger in her voice made him pause. I think you have too." "Are you trying to say this wasn't you?" The corners of Nora's lips quirked. Her gaze swept across him, lingering for just a moment on his... As she replied, "Don't be too confident in yourself, Mr. Hunt." Justin was rendered speechless. He folded the bath towel carefully and held it in front of him in a seemingly casual manner, as he asked, "If you didn't arrange this, then who did?" He seemed to be back under control, or at least calm enough that he wouldn't pounce the moment she turned her back. Judging it safe, Nora turned and went to the study. Wait a minute. Then she picked up her laptop and walked to the living room. Justin had already returned to the sofa and taken a seat. Although he still looked rather red in the face, he seemed otherwise fine. If it weren't for the bulge of the bath towel on his lap, he would have seemed like his usual self. Secretly, Nora was impressed at his self-control. Nora had taken so much medication from such a young age that the effects of most drugs were less strong on her. Otherwise, she may have lost control herself. Justin didn't have her advantages in this situation, yet he had managed to calm himself down. Justin's deep-set eyes flickered when he glimpsed the thoughtful look in her eyes. "You still have time to change your mind, Miss Smith." Nora was puzzled. Justin's overconfidence always shocked her. She said firmly, "I'm really not interested in you, Mr. Hunt." Justin had to admit it didn't seem like she was the one who hooked him. He was surprised to find that he was disappointed. Nora's face tensed up instantly, and she walked straight over to him. She placed her laptop on the table, opened it, and pushed it in front of him. Justin was taken aback. "What?" "Hurry, enter your account password and check the security cameras. Even if we don't know who dogged us, we can at least find out who locked the door." Justin didn't like the way she gave him orders. However, he tapped a few keys seemingly at random, and then tapped the enter key. Real-time security footage instantly appeared on the computer. 3 people were currently standing at the door. Their faces were all pressed against it as if trying to hear what was going on inside.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.